So today I want to talk about an incident that happened up in Missouri with a young lady who was at the range, and somebody handed her a Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum, which is one of the biggest, most powerful handguns that's mass produced right now. It's much bigger than the 44 Magnum as far as power and load and all that. Now what I have here is a 44 Magnum, and as you can see it is completely empty. So before anyone freaks out, know that the weapon and cylinders are all empty like I just showed you on the camera. Now what they did is they handed this young lady a gun and told her to shoot it. Well, if you've ever watched videos where people shoot 500 Smith & Wesson Magnums on YouTube, they're videos where people do what's called a double tap. What that means is they hold the gun out and they pull the trigger once, it recoils back with such force that they pull it again as it comes backwards, called a double tap. So they actually, because of the force, they freak out, clench their arms, and clench their hands together at the same time, effectively firing it a second time. And then it goes off again, okay? So they fire the gun twice. Second one is completely unintentional. Well, what happened to this young lady is they said that the gun spun around in her hand, which makes no sense, because if I have a gun, it goes off and it spins, my finger comes off the trigger about there. So then again, you know, it's not going to work. But if I fired it and the recoil was so bad that it came back on me like this or like this and fired again because I squeezed, then it would take my head clean off. So more than likely what happened to her is she pulled a double tap, but the first shot's recoil was so bad that the barrel was aimed at her head on the clinch second firing of it. So again, if you're watching this, don't take your wife, your girlfriend, your kid, your small child out and think it's funny to hand them a 50 cal or a 44 Magnum or something like that going, oh, watch this, they'll shoot it and it'll kick so hard the gun will come back and hit them in the head. Because somebody thought to do this to this young lady who was 25 and it blew her head off. So the people who did that should, I think, at least be brought up on charges of manslaughter because it was such a negligent thing to do to this young lady. So again, if you're going to be taking people out, make sure they can handle the weapon, make sure it is not going to clobber them. Don't hand a 90-pound or 50-pound person, if it's a kid or whatever, a 90-pound woman, a 12-gauge shotgun for the first time and expect it not to fly back and hit her in the face, or hand her a Desert Eagle and expect it not to fly back and hit her in the face. And if you're going to do that to someone on purpose to let it hit them in the face, you're a major a-hole and you deserve to have something very bad, worse than that, happen to you than just getting clocked in the face. So, just wanted to share that with you, a bit of cautionary tale that what can turn out to be a practical joke ended up killing this young lady because practical jokes and guns do not mix, ever. Thank you.
Meep, meep.